The ascent to power of Hitler, Queen Elizabeth's passing, and the epidemic. It was foretold by the French astrologer Nostradamus in the 16th century. Concern and interest in several other fascinating prophecies by Nostradamus are growing as 2024 approaches. These mysterious predictions provide us a peek into the future, but analysts predict a turbulent year full of unpredictability and significant shift for humanity. Forecasts indicate that there will be discord in the British royal family and that an enigmatic person will ascend to the throne. There are also rumors that the Pope's tenure is likely to expire. Which of the startling prophecies made by Nostradamus come true? Accompany us as we reveal the truth. Pope Francis's last goodbye. In Les Prophéties, a text he authored in 1555, Nostradamus predicted that this year will see more conflict everywhere, particularly at sea. In addition, he warned that this year would bring about tragedy for the populace and royal upheaval, which might include the Pope's resignation. Regarding the future of Pope Francis, the 266th Pope in the history of the Roman Catholic Church, there is a great deal of conjecture. Pope Francis, who is 87 years old, faced many health issues that alarmed his faithful. The speculations about his possible resignation from the Pope increased when Francis did not attend the UN climate conference, owing to inflammation in his lungs and breathing problems. One quatrain in particular from Nostradamus's writings looked strangely applicable to the rumors going around about Pope Francis's health and the potential for a new pope. The relevant quatrain is as follows. Through the death of a very old pontiff, a Roman of good age will be elected. Of him it will be said that he weakens his see, but long will he sit and in biting activity. Nostradamus seems to be predicting in these lines that a younger pope will succeed an aging one when the latter passes away. A Roman of good age will be elected alludes to the potential election of a middle-aged cardinal as the new head among the ranks of the Roman Catholic Church. But many interpreters find themselves drawn to the following lines. The prophecy describes the new pontiff weakening his see, a phrase that frequently alludes to the power and influence of the Pope. This waning can indicate a reduction in the Church's authority or stature under Pope Francis's successor. In spite of this, Nostradamus foretells that the next Pope would hold the office of Pope for an extended length of time, acting in a scathing manner that implies an aggressive and forceful leadership style in an effort to reclaim the Church's status and authority. When Nostradamus's prophecies come true, it's always a little unsettling, isn't it? Consider his strangely precise prediction on the death of Queen Elizabeth II. He estimated that she passed away at the age of 96, a figure he is said to have recorded centuries before. As foretold by Nostradamus, the Queen lived to be 96 years old when she passed away. This is where things get interesting. Mario Reading's 2005 book, Nostradamus, The Complete Prophecies for the Future, emphasized this specific prophecy. Reading's book was only gathering dust on the shelf before to the Queen's demise. In the week before her death, only 5 copies were sold. However, sales took off after September 17th, reaching over 8,000 copies. How about a sharp increase in popularity? Perhaps they were simply curious about how accurate Nostradamus's prediction of the Queen's dying age was, or they simply wanted to see what else he could have foreseen. Nevertheless, Nostradamus's gift for prophecy never fails to enthrall and occasionally frighten the general public. The accuracy with which Nostradamus predicted the dying age of Queen Elizabeth II has astonished people for decades. People are now interested in his other, more sinister prophecies as a result of this. His prediction of a third global war, which portends a situation considerably more frightening than royal successions, is one of these. This change from individual predictions to widespread cataclysms symbolizes a move from historical oddities to possible future realities that may have significant effects on the whole planet. It is important to examine not just the details of Nostradamus's prophecy for 2024, but also the wider ramifications of a worldwide battle of this kind in the modern linked globe as we go deeper into this darker forecast. World War III. The world was stunned to learn what Nostradamus had foretold for 2024. It seems that 79 years after the end of World War II, he foresaw the outbreak of a new global conflict, with China as its epicenter. Indeed, when China shows off its military might in the South China Sea and surrounding Taiwan in 2024, Nostradamus predicts another battle. Many are seeing the connection between his predictions. Some predict that this growing tension will serve as the catalyst for a significant NATO confrontation. It appears that Nostradamus wrote of maritime warfare and a crimson enemy going pale with terror. Analysts speculate that Nostradamus may be making a reference to China here. Every earthquake, political upheaval, and crisis is frequently seen from the perspective of the end of the world and the darkness. Thanks to interpretations of biblical predictions, which range from the dire warnings of war, hunger, and natural calamities, to the cautionary tales of the Apostle Paul. It has the makings of a real-life blockbuster movie scenario. Indeed, the Gospel indicates that battles would undoubtedly break out in the future just prior to Christ's second coming. Let's not overlook the section regarding the Antichrist, though. With his prophecy of 3 Antichrists, 2 dead, Napoleon and Hitler, 1 remaining, Nostradamus threw us a curveball. Who may this be? In this biblically scaled mystery, everyone is a suspect, including King Charles, Joe Biden, and Donald Trump. However, the identity of this evil figure is still a mystery, and if all of that wasn't dramatic enough, there may be one more world war in the narrative. After a millennium of peace under Christ, Satan returns, only to be dealt with quickly and given a permanent one-way ticket to the lake of fire. It appears that we are seeing the build-up to the grand conflict between good and evil. It appears like the players are lining up and the stage is ready. The anti-Christian spirit appears early and never truly blends in. There is nothing less than the fate of the entire Earth at stake in this epic tale. Advanced climate change. Nostradamus has alerted us to what is ahead in 2024. As temperatures rise and storms get stronger, more weather disruptions are to be expected. With the advancement of technology, we can now see the fulfillment of the ancient seer's prophecies. Thus, it appears he could have been right. It is concerning, to say the least, that the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration has predicted that there is a 1/3 possibility that 2024 would be even hotter than 2023. They said that it's quite likely to be one of the 5 warmest years ever recorded. Fossil fuel combustion and other human activities are to blame for this, which will be made worse by the emergence of an El Niño climatic trend in late 2023. It appears that Nostradamus foresaw all of these startling occurrences before they ever took place. However, there's more. With extraordinary snowstorms striking North America, volcanic eruptions in Iceland, and extremely chilly waves in India, the repercussions are already evident in our surroundings. These occurrences highlight the various effects of climate change. In line with these scientific findings, Nostradamus also foresaw extreme natural occurrences in his forecasts. He foresaw catastrophic floods and a severe famine brought on by harsh weather. He also spoke of a devastating tsunami and severe flooding that may destroy agriculture and perhaps cause a widespread famine. Furthermore, Nostradamus prophesied a powerful and hazardous earthquake that would cause a great deal of casualties, a prophecy that is consistent with recent, powerful earthquakes in Morocco and ongoing natural disasters in Iceland. Whether you believe in Nostradamus's prophecies or not, There is no denying that extreme weather and natural catastrophes are become more often and severe, indicating the need for more preparation and attention to climate challenges on a worldwide scale. But given that so many of his major forecasts have come true, it is unsettling to consider what more he could be correct about. Prophecies that have materialized. It seems that Nostradamus had a talent for keeping everyone on the edge of their seats. He's like the supreme historical headline generator, with prophecies ranging from the stunningly exact to the more pointed. This man presented his picture of the future in 942 quatrains, covering a wide range of topics, from wars to diseases. The list is rather remarkable. He predicted the world wars, the French Revolution, and even the deaths of leaders like Hitler, Princess Diana, and Napoleon. Not to be overlooked is the scientific significance of the Apollo lunar landing. Nostradamus said that he gained his prophetic insights by physically gazing up at the sky. Based on the positions and motions of the planets, he made his forecasts. This method has its origins in medieval chronicles and classical history. It was not only his creation. Academics speculate that in order to predict future events, he may have combined these antiquated astrological techniques with biblical predictions. One of his scariest prophecies concerned French Emperor Henry II. According to the legend, Henry invited Nostradamus to the palace to inquire about his future because he was concerned about his age. Without holding back, Nostradamus told him that a sharp object to the head during a horse battle would be his death. Henry was tragically killed during a jousting competition as a result of ignoring a warning. As evidenced by his book Centuries, which was published a year prior to the catastrophe, devotees of Nostradamus contend that he correctly foresaw several events, including the one that occurred. After a few centuries, Nostradamus seems to have predicted Napoleon once more. He told the story of a great emperor who rose from lowly beginnings to become powerful, only to be banished and suffer sufferings when he returned. That does seem a lot like the story of Napoleon, from his ascent to his banishment to Elba. Perhaps his most accurate and startling prophecy, though, was that of the Great Fire of London in 1666. In 1666, the fire that decimated 13% of London fulfilled his ominous prophecy. The blood of the just will commit a fault at London burnt through lightning of 23/6. The ancient lady will fall from her high place. Several of the same sect will be slain. The influence of Nostradamus continued in the past. He is also acknowledged for having predicted contemporary occurrences such as the assassination of US President Kennedy, the Challenger space shuttle catastrophe in 1985, and the atomic bombs of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Regardless of whether you consider Nostradamus to be a fortuitous or visionary prophet, one thing is certain. He had a remarkable ability to leave his mark on history by igniting discussions and arguments that continue to this day. The Prophecies Oracles from 1954. Choosing to fully commit to his prophetic career, Nostradamus intended to jam as many as 10 chapters or 100 quatrains into each volume. He threw himself into writing poetic prophecies. He was prepared to release the prophecies, a compilation of his most significant predictions, by 1555. In order to evade criticism, of which there were enough, Nostradamus used deft word choice. To keep the implications of his prophecies ambiguous, he blended together languages such as Greek, Italian, Latin, Provençal, and a few southern French dialects. He purposefully left things vague. His prophecies were more about looking back than about making plans for the future, because he rarely specified the exact date, time, or location of occurrences. Reactions to his book were not uniformly positive. Nostradamus was called a devil's servant by some, and a charlatan or even insane by others. However, his fan base also increased, especially among Asians of high society and celebrities like Chinedidi. The Queen herself discovered a particularly menacing passage in his 1555 book that alluded to a threat to her family, and she went on to become one of his greatest fans. She called Nostradamus to Paris to read her horoscope, intrigued and alarmed. After 4 centuries of discussion and conjecture, it is evident that Nostradamus left a significant conundrum in the form of his more than 1,000 predictions. More than half, according to researchers, have come true. Fun fact, he supposedly predicted humankind's destiny up to the year 7000. He predicts that the Gobi Desert will become a sea by the year 3979. Now that it's 2024, we have a lot more knowledge and references at our disposal than either Catherine de' Medici or King Henry did to determine which of his prophecies will come true and rock the globe. There emerges another prophet. In the 20th century, a different enigmatic Balkan seer emerges with ominous prophecies for 2024. Recognized as the Nostradamus of the Balkans, Baba Vanga was a well-known clairvoyant from Bulgaria who became well known for her ability to predict the future. Her life, which started in 1911, was full with remarkable encounters. She said at an early age that a tornado had taken her into the air and dumped her into a neighboring field in 1923, which was a momentous occasion. This horrific event caused her eyes to become partially blinded from sandblasting, which prepared her for her subsequent mystical insights that would portend terrible things to come. Vanga foresaw a broad variety of events, including the dissolution of the Soviet Union, environmental catastrophes, and political killings. The September 11th attacks, Princess Diana's passing, and the Chernobyl tragedy are among the notable forecasts. Baba Vanga's prophecies tended to follow the weather, politics, war, and the royal family, much like those of Nostradamus. In her forecasts, Baba Vanga offered some thought-provoking remarks regarding the year 2024. She saw significant advancements in quantum computing, which is consistent with the ongoing improvement of AI and computers. Large sums of money are being invested by corporations and governments in the study of quantum computing, which implies that significant technological advancements may occur shortly. Vanga anticipated significant advancements in medical research, comparable to the constant improvement of personalized medicine, gene editing, and vaccine development. The global response to the COVID-19 epidemic has accelerated research and development in medicine. Given how rapidly science is discovering new information, this has increased the likelihood of Vanga's forecast of a cancer cure. However, Vanga's prophecies also depict frightening real-world events, as well as contemporary social and political issues. Her statement that plots were afoot to remove Russian President Putin may allude to the current political turmoil and security concerns plaguing the nation. Her forecast of terrorist acts throughout Europe is consistent with continuous concerns about terrorism and security threats throughout the continent. Despite the numerous prior instances, we cannot forget the horrifying 8 minutes in 2017 when a group of terrorists crashed a vehicle through a pedestrian walkway on the London Bridge, killing 8 people. According to one of Vanga's forecasts, Donald Trump would have an odd sickness if he were to run for president once more. In the ongoing discussion over political leadership and public health, this raises some insightful points. Furthermore, as Nostradamus predicted, Vanga's prophecy of catastrophic weather occurrences brought on by climate change indicates that people are growing increasingly concerned about the consequences of natural disasters and harsh weather because of the approaching elections. Her prediction serves as a warning that, as climate change-related disasters increase in frequency and severity, global action to halt the phenomenon is urgently needed. Lastly, Vanga's forecast of an impending financial catastrophe in Europe highlights how hazy and challenging the economy in the area is. The economy is less stable as a result of Brexit, local crises, and challenges in the global supply chain. Vanga's prediction highlights the vulnerability of the world economy and the significance of taking preventative measures against potential threats. Even if some of Vanga's forecasts appear improbable, many people have taken her prophecies seriously because of how accurately she has predicted historical events. The fact that some of her forecasts for 2024 coincide with those of Nostradamus is also fascinating. Which guess came true the most unexpectedly? Tell us in the comments below. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. Click on any of the videos on the screen or visit the channel to view more of our productions. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you later.